Hello everyone, I'm just here to give my team of the tournament for the World Cup and just a few thoughts and a few just bits and pieces I thought of the World Cup. Anyway, I'm going to start in goal here for the best team. This is all in my view. Obviously, people have a lot of different opinions and everything like that, but this is my team anyway, and it's not an official. It is a bit different to the team that was actually given it. So I'm actually going for Jordan Pickford in goal. Now, Courtois was unlucky not to get this, but he did have more saves than anyone in the whole tournament, and he did put up some really good saves in that as well. But I just think Pickford, like he conceded a few goals, but to be honest, he kept England in a lot of the games, even against Sweden, where Sweden were terrible. He made three brilliant saves. Um, Made penalty saves in the shootout against Colombia. Was made some really good saves against Croatia as well. He was probably arguably nearly their best player at the tournament, England, and he kind of came in as well. He needed to make a major impression because no one who knew he was going to be in goal. They didn't have a number one really coming into the tournament. Obviously, Joe Hartman dropped, and the save he made against Colombia as well. Obviously, I think it did lead to the goal anyway, but from 40 yards, it was an unbelievable save. So I'm going to go for him in goal anyway. Courtois made so many saves. He's looking to get down. Hugo Lloris really had a good tournament as well, like, without really in trouble, to be honest. A lot of time for France. But I'm going to go for Pickford anyway because he really came in with a handful of caps, and he's really got that number one jersey now. I'm going to go four at the back, and I'm going to go for another England player now again. It's Kieran Trippier. Now, if it's talking about Pickford maybe the best player, this guy is probably equally as good, if not better. He came in, played right wing back. Scored a lovely free kick against Croatia, and his delivery is always second to none. He's proven that with Burnley through the years, moving the lower leagues. He's been a very good replacement for Kyle Walker, as well for Spurs. And he a lot of the attacks actually came from him providing the width. Really good tournament, and again another player who hadn't really played much, and was a good story for England, to be fair. And I was happy they got that far. I thought they did really well. Probably did all not as good as they thought they should have, or maybe when they actually played against a good team, they did actually get found out a bit. But well done, England. And now that is the end of them in this, or is it? So there might be one or two more, but there's not going to be loads more England players. Don't worry. Left back, I'm going to go for Lucas Hernandez. He played in every game during the World Cup, and he kept Benjamin Mendy at a team at left back, who I actually thought would start. Very solid tournament. He's 6 foot. I remember he played very well in the Argentina game. He actually set up one of the goals. I think it was the Mbappe second one, where he actually came forward with the ball. He had another cross was for Pavard's goal as well. Only has 12 caps. Atletico Madrid, left back, really good tournament. Marcelo as well had a good tournament as well. But he only got to the quarters. Brazil, a lot of attacks do come from Marcelo, as I said in my preview. Other players who missed out for Trippier's spot was Benjamin Pavard, obviously. Won the thing with France, scored an unbelievable goal against Argentina outside of his foot. He's actually a centre half by trade, playing for Stuttgart, and he's linked with Bayern Munich, obviously, because Bayern, their policy is to buy the best German player always, and best player in the German league, should I say. And he's probably going to be the next one to go with her anyway. But playing right back in your centre half, and he was very good, very solid. Same way for Jalko as well, obviously. Another Atletico Madrid right back, really solid tournament as well. Centre halves, I think the best centre half tournament was Rafael Varane. Scored a really crucial goal against Uruguay to break the deadlock. A set piece, got over Diego Godin for future captain for club and country. Plays for Real Madrid. He's 6'3". He's only 25. He's only got 49 caps, so he's going to do what pretty much Sergio Ramos did with Spain. Probably, I could see him probably never leave Madrid. I can see him get at least 150 caps probably for France, the way he's going. Very fast, very strong, good in the ball. And really, him and Umtiti formed a really good partnership, and he played every minute as well during the World Cup, so which is some achievement given so many games. He's joined Christian Carambeu, Roberto Carlos, and Sami Khedira to win the Champions League and the World Cup in the same season. So the amount of games he's played this year, and to be honest, he didn't look any worse for wear for an unbelievable tournament. And you could nearly say he was France's best player. He was that important to them. Interesting fact about him: when Zidane tried to sign for Madrid in 2011, he told him to call back because he was actually studying for his leaving cert with the French equivalent. So, he's obviously a smart lad as well. to partner him, there was obviously a lot of good people who could go in there, but I'm actually going for Domagoj Vida, the guy who plays for Croatia, unmistakable long blonde hair on him. Plays for Besiktas, and to be honest, you're expecting him to get bids from top teams or good European teams anyway. He is 29, so he's probably not going to really get any better, but you know, he's never played for anyone bigger than Besiktas or Bayer Leverkusen, and I think he's definitely worth a shot for even an Arsenal or something like that, or even for Liverpool to go in for someone who could always use an extra centre half. Has made controversial comments before and after the tournament. I won't get into them. Some stuff about Russia and Ukraine and Serbia. Look, whatever it goes on there. But anyway, he was very good, and people who are actually lucky to miss out. Diego Godin had an unbelievable tournament with Uruguay. I was just fun to see them go out so early. Yerry Mina, obviously with Colombia, scored a couple of goals. Could be leaving Barcelona actually as well, so he'd be a really good buy. 6'5", beast of a man, very young. Andres Granqvist, obviously off Sweden, scored I think it was 2 penalties. Was very good. Maybe got found a little bit against England, the pace he had up front, but what a tournament for Sweden to get to the quarterfinals. Harry Maguire, another one definitely worth a mention. Always the biggest set piece threat for England, and a couple of assists, I think, meant to headers he won. And Samuel Umtiti, obviously, Raphael Varane's partner. And I want to give a special mention as well, because he gets a terrible time with Dejan Lovren. He had a brilliant tournament, and let's not get away that he had Harry Kane in his pocket in the semi-final. And he said he was the best centre half in the world. If he can play like that for next season for Liverpool, he will be. But I'm gonna go. I think he just misses the cut at the moment. But I thought Vida was great for Varane. That's pretty solid. So that's the back four done, and midfield. I'm trying to have a bit of a balance in my midfield as well. So I'm going to go for N'Golo Kante. I felt that he was really the heartbeat of the World Cup winners in France. He started every game, played every minute except in the final where he was taken off because he was actually booked, and Modric and Rakitic and all were running at him. And to be fair, they brought on Nzonzi. They needed to change it up. But in the last 16, he did a brilliant job stifling Lionel Messi. Very consistent, uses the ball very well, wins it back all the time. Just what a player, what a man. He's very humble, works so hard, and a really good foil for Pogba in that midfield. My player of the tournament then we're going beside him in midfield, Luka Modric. He did win the Golden Ball, so I was very, very happy with that. He led Croatia, he captained them through a very tough group in Group D with Argentina, Iceland and Nigeria. It was the toughest group in the tournament, and they won all their games. He did miss a penalty against Denmark in extra time. I wouldn't fault anyone for missing a penalty. Anyone can miss a penalty. It's not, obviously a professional should score, but it's not the worst thing you can do is miss a penalty because anyone can miss one. But what he had was the balls to go up 5 minutes later in the shootout and actually score one. The guy's got guts. Scored an unbelievable, magnificent goal against Argentina. Got up against, I think it was Otamendi, shifting one side, shifting the other side. Outstanding in every game. He got better as the tournament went on. Against Russia were really pounded in, running so hard. Modric just kept the ball, kept it ticking, kept the ball passing. Despite his size, never bullied in any game. Ran the show again against Russia, as I said. Against England, he was unreal as well. First 60 minutes against France, especially the first half, really ran Pogba and Kante ragged. My player of the tournament, and again, it would have been great to see him win a World Cup, and hopefully it's not the end when we see it international level. Other guys who could have got in there, really, Paul Pogba got better as the tournament went on. I've been a big critic of Pogba, but the group stages didn't really show up. But as the tournament went on, he got more disciplined. And if Mourinho can get that out of him, wow, they've got a player there. Modric's sidekick in midfield, Ivan Rakitic, obviously he scored 2 winning penalties. The balls to do that as well. Philippe Coutinho was really good at Brazil, probably their best player. But again, they went out in the quarters to Belgium. And Alexander Golovin, what a player he is. He ran more than anyone as well for the first few games. Only 22, playing in Moscow. Big team needs him. Chelsea are looking at him. Be interesting if he goes there. So I'm going to look at the attack now. It's going to be an attacking team, so we're going to go for Hazard anyway on one wing. Belgium's captain, by far their best player. He ran riot in the group stages against like Panama and Tunisia. He had more successful dribbles than any player in the tournament. He was just sheer class for the whole thing. Even in France in the semi-final, he was the only one trying for Belgium. He was trying to get the free kicks. He was trying to draw France out. He was doing everything. Varane at the back was just too good that game, and no one was really playing with him. But Hazard was brilliant in this tournament. And again, another player possibly for sale this summer, Real Madrid, obviously with Ronaldo. I'm going to go for even Perisic on the other wing. A stalwart really for Croatia in that midfield. Any of the Croatian midfielders could be really in there, to be honest. He can play off the left or the right, generally off Mario Mandzukic either side. He's tenacious, hard working. He scored in the semi-final against him with a great flick. I picked him out before in the group stages preview, if you want to take a listen back to that. He's 29 now or something, but those rumours to Man United will start back up now. Really good tournament. Just never stopped running. Unbelievable. So other players who were looking at against that was Ante Rebic, also is Perisic's other wing partner, who will probably get another big move as well. He's with I think it's Frankfurt in Germany, and Denis Cheryshev, the Russian player who plays for Villarreal. I picked him out as well to start for people who don't really know these players. He scored some cracking goals as well in that. Then up front, I'm going to go for Kylian Mbappe. Absolutely unreal as the tournament went on. Really showed what he can do, because we've only seen glimpses in the Champions League. He's awesome, especially in the later rounds. Argentina in the finals, unbelievable. He's only 19. We don't know where he'll be playing next year. He's still a Monaco player, but there is that agreement with PSG. But with FFP at the moment, that doesn't look like it's going to go through. So you could have the first £200 million player behind Neymar. So, or should I say, the first £300 million player. You never know how much he's going to go for. Reminds me of a very young Thierry Henry or a fat Ronaldo. That acceleration, especially in the Argentina game, really showed it against Croatia when France were 3-2 up in that 4-2 up. His pace was killing them. So fast, and seems to be quite a likable guy. He gave a lot of his money to charity and stuff. And I'm going to go up front with him as Harry Kane. Now, got all his goals really in the group stages and against the poorer teams. But again, you can't take that away from him. He did score a few penalties, one hit off his arse, went in, but he's in the team. If you can't win the Golden Boot and not be in the team in the World Cup. 6 goals, first Englishman to win it since 96 since Gary Lineker. Other players I'm looking at again, Griezmann, at a good tournament, probably could have contributed a little bit more. 3 penalties, would like to see more goals from open play. Artem Zhuba, another nuisance of himself, 6'5", 6'6", big guy for Russia. And Romelu Lukaku had a decent tournament as well. Didn't score in the later rounds though. Still needs to address that issue of scoring against the better teams. Some quick things as well. Match of the tournament. I'm going to go for the final, France-Croatia. You're never going to see a better final than that. Had the first ever own goal in the final. The most goals since 1966 in the final. Could have gone either way. Croatia were brilliant. France, always kind of uncomfortable. That was really weird to see, but great final. France-Argentina 4-3. Another brilliant game. Some great goals in that. Goal of the tournament, I'm going to give to Lionel Messi against Nigeria. I thought he took it down with his left knee, took a touch with his right foot, and then buried in. I thought it was unbelievable to do that. I don't think any other player in the world could have scored that. My moment of the tournament is actually quite a funny one. Is Milad Mohammadi, the Iran player who had was going to try a long throw in against Spain in the last minute, and then he decided to do the double somersault and then realised he was going to be out of position, so he just threw it back in. I thought that was funny. My favourite tournament, as I touched on earlier, was Luka Modric. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, comment if you agree with some of them. Who would you have in yourself? Who would you not have in? What was your game in tournament? What was your goal tournament? I think it's pretty fair. I think it's a pretty balanced team. It's a bit attacking, but I think with that back four and Kante just running and Modric running the strings, I think that'd be some team to beat. Anyway, I'll catch you later.